That chimpanzee just made a stone tool, and that one's hunting with a spear. If this looks like the Stone Age to you, you're not wrong. They've wielded stone tools for thousands of years, and some are virtually identical to those crafted by our own ancestors.
So are they truly in the Stone Age or just standing on the edge? Let's find out.
For decades, researchers thought tool use is what separated us from the other animals, what made us human. That was until a revolutionary primatologist conducted a study in the 1960s. Jane Goodall ventured into the remote Gombe Stream National Park in Tanzania. One day she witnessed chimpanzees at a termite mound repeatedly poke stalks of grass into the holes. The termites would bite onto the grass defensively, allowing the chimp to pull them out and eat them. Astonished at her discovery, Goodall told paleoanthropologist Louis Leakey, who wrote, "Now we must redefine tool, redefine man, or accept chimpanzees as human. Tools are evolutionary game changers. They unlock resources that would otherwise be impossible to reach. In the case of termite fishing, the stick directly aids chimpanzees in acquiring this food source. But this is far from their only tool. Further research has found that chimpanzees actually use over 20 different tools. One of the most important is their use of stone tools. Stone hammers are used to smash open hard nuts against anvil stones. This lets them consume abundant calories they otherwise would have no chance in eating. A recent paper looked closely at this behavior and found something fascinating. Using stone tools to open nuts is not present in every population. Chimps in seasonal, resource-scarce environments exploit nuts more often. But the study also looked closer at the hammers and anvils themselves. They found that they differ regionally and choose a certain hammerstone size depending on the hardness of the nut. The so-called anvils that they smash the nuts against are usually just large flat stones that happen to be near the nut trees. These anvils are fairly distinct archaeologically, and researchers have found evidence that their use goes back at least 4,300 years, meaning that this behavior likely extends far into prehistory. What is also interesting to note is that some populations do not smash nuts at all, meaning some chimpanzee populations are more technologically advanced than others. Another important tool that chimpanzees use are spears. Yeah, that's right, they make their own spears by taking off a sturdy stick and biting the tip to form a sharp end. They use these weapons to stab into the burrows of bush babies, which are some of the cutest animals on the planet. They jam the stick into the burrow, killing the animal, and then they use the stick to get the animal out. These spears seem to be used exclusively for hunting animals that they physically cannot get to. They have never been witnessed using them against one another.
This is a UNIVAC 1219, a computer from 1965 that has just hosted a Minecraft server.
Wait, you're on camera. Did it work?
It worked!
I can't believe it!
But we'll get back to that one. About a year ago, I went to finally check out VCF East, also known as the Vintage Computer Festival East. For those unfamiliar, it's basically a big convention for retro computing nerds such as myself. There's room after room of various people's collections on display. I saw pen plotters, a shrine to Windows 95, absolutely awesome electromechanical teletype equipment, a manga user's guide to the Macintosh, and capacitors the size of soda cans. But tucked away in one of the buildings in the back, I came face to face with an absolute beast. See, VCF East takes place at the InfoAge Museum in New Jersey. About a century ago, it was a Marconi wireless station receiving radio transmissions from across the Atlantic. In the 50s and 60s, it housed a giant dish antenna for radar and satellite experiments. And nowadays, it's a museum with exhibits documenting various areas of technological development, including computers. And right in the center of that room is the UNIVAC 1219, a computer from the mid-60s about the size of 3 to 4 refrigerators side by side. And man, is this thing cool. It's got the front panel blinking lights, the big tape reels, and all the output gets printed on the world's loudest teletype. It was everything 60s sci-fi movies promised me computers would be. UNIVAC is short for Universal Automatic Computer, and in the middle of the 20th century it was the name in computing, well, besides Big Blue. UNIVAC was the computer of choice for Wile E. Coyote, Isaac Asimov spoofed it when naming the computer Multivac in his stories, and it's the computer that made headlines when it successfully predicted the 1952 presidential election would be a landslide, even when his human operators didn't believe it. The UNIVAC company lineage goes all the way back to the ENIAC, the 1940s University of Pennsylvania research project considered to be the first computer. For a very precise definition of computer. ENIAC's job was to compute tables of artillery firing trajectories for the US Army, and about 20 years later, this UNIVAC, Model 1219, the military version of the 418, actually wasn't that far off. From the late 60s into the 80s, these machines could be found on Navy battleships, listening to radar and aiming guided missiles. Nowadays, though, this UNIVAC here seems pretty happy to live out its civilian life at the museum, playing the occasional game of Hunt the Wumpus and printing out ASCII art portraits of George Washington and Spock. At least, that's what I saw it doing during the live demo at VCF. Naturally, I got into a bit of a conversation with the guys operating the machine, and I asked if anyone was writing any new software for it. The answer I got was, not really, but there was a stack of about a dozen manuals and an emulator, if I was interested. And, well, I was interested. I got home, fired up the emulator, read the manuals, and got to work. Being designed in the early 60s, the UNIVAC here feels in some ways so close to a modern computer, and in other ways worlds apart. It has registers like any CPU, but those registers are 18 bits wide, instead of 16, 32, or 64. Everything's binary under the hood, of course, but it means any number you see written on the documentation will be an octal, rather than hex, since 18 bits divides nicely into 6 octal digits. It's got all the math operations you'd want, even hardware multiply and divide, but that math is done in 1's complement instead of 2's complement, with all the fun negative zeros and weird wraparound carries that entails. Even some easy instructions are a bit hard to understand at first. Got any guesses for what selective set, selective clear, and selective complement do? As it turns out, those are pre-Woodstock ways to say bitwise OR and an XOR. One of my favorite quirks, though, is that this machine doesn't have a stack pointer. Now, sure, you've got the instructions necessary to call into a subroutine and return, but instead of pushing a return pointer onto the stack, the return jump instruction stores it in the memory address right before the start of the subroutine, and all functions end with an indirect jump to that return pointer. It's all a little weird, but as it turned out, with enough practice and a ton of trial and error, I managed to get a program of my own working. Because I'm a hack who's run out of ideas, the goal I chose this time was one I've covered before on this channel: pi computation. Last time, I did it using an implementation of the BBP summation, and a few tricks to extract decimal digits one at a time. Oh, and I also did it using electromechanical relays. Here, it's almost exactly the same, except this time I'm using the Bayar formulation instead of BBP. It's a bit more complicated, which is why I didn't use it in the relay machine, but in software it's almost no extra cost and it converges about 3 times faster. It took a weekend's worth of work, but I finally had the emulator spitting out digit after digit of pi. I want to make myself clear, I am really grateful for the work Dwayne, one of the volunteers at the museum, did writing up the emulator and assembler I used to program the UNIVAC here. Without it, I probably would have given up on this project by day one. That being said, the developer experience here had a few limitations. For one, this was a .NET app, which made running it on Linux not entirely trivial, and the assembler being a QBasic program meant I needed to install DOSBox to run it. This meant my typical testing workflow was save the file, mount it into DOSBox, run the QBasic emulator, copy the file out of DOSBox, restart the emulator, type in the file path for the tape, set the address to the bootloader, and hit run. That, plus the fact I didn't originally have the source code for the emulator, made debugging my programs a bit frustrating. So, in a spark of stuck-on-the-train productivity, I started writing my own emulator and assembler in Rust. At first, it was just a quick program to inspect memory images, but by the time we pulled into the station, I was running small UNIVAC programs and the 8-click testing tango had been reduced to one CLI command. This emulator was also fast. A table in one of the manuals lists the runtimes in microseconds for each instruction on the UNIVAC. I had my emulator count out the machine time against wall clock time, and I found it ran anywhere from 200 to 400 times faster than the real hardware. I wasn't even going out of my way to write hyper-optimized code. It's just a testament to the improvements in computer hardware over the last 60 years. And probably also the Rust compiler. Developing for the UNIVAC was now a lot simpler, but actually sitting down and writing
Alright everybody, today we are testing out malware made by you guys, the viewers. This is a part 2 because after the first one came out, there was a ton of submissions. I just had to do this again. I have about 7 virtual machines ready to go, and we're gonna see if the malware that you guys made personally for me to test is able to either destroy my virtual machine or take my Discord account because I'm signed in on all of these VMs. I might actually end up with like 10 different people on my Discord account by the end of this video. I don't know. But yeah, let's go ahead and begin, shall we? Let's see what you guys have in store for me today. As you can see, we have so many submissions. Y'all really came through. I appreciate it. All of it's happening in the Your Scams channel on my Discord server. So if you want to join and submit something, you can. Discord.gg/Tranium. But yeah, let's see what we have. There's actually so much. This one is from I am Lord Dems, and they said a prank virus I made while bored. It's sloppy. Sorry. Got it. I will download it and test it for you. See how bad could it really be? You know, the prank I talked about. Let's open it. Open. Don't crash the computer, please. Oh, my loading cursor is blinking. Anything? Anything at all? I think it's because it's zipped. Maybe we just extract it and then we try again. There we go.
All your bases are belong to us.
Huh?
All your bases are belong to us.
Whoa. He's making a collage right now.
Belong to us.
I forgot the reference to this, but I've heard it before. I
us.
feel like I'm watching the stock market right now. What's happening? Wow. Okay, so he made it so I can't actually click anything.
All your bases are belong to us.
This isn't bad. It's just repeating. It's just repeating infinitely, though.
All your bases are
what did I do?
to us.
It's just gonna eventually crash the virtual machine because my RAM is just gonna run out. So let's actually shut this thing off. I am using my own main computer resources here that I don't want to fry. So let's go ahead and restart that. Okay. Try my little harmless gift from Chris. I farted on your computer ransomware. Okay. Farting ransomware. You love to see it. How is he able to make a ransomware into 1 kilobyte? See if it actually is. This app can't run on your PC. Okay. It didn't even fart. Yeah, this thing is actually very compressed. I don't think he sent me this properly. Well, I guess I'm good. Let's keep going. We got a submission from Clax. He says, please try this. If so, thank you. You're welcome. It's a spoofer. Oh my God. Oh, what's inside of here? Let's open this. Uh-oh. The text file is too large for Notepad. Use another editor to edit the file. The operation completed successfully. What operation? Holy, this is actually a Notepad bomb. Does it go into these folders? So you're telling me if I open this, my logins are going to be in this folder. Let's see. Holy, we have to install it. Oh my gosh, requesting admin. Oh God. Oh God, what are we doing? Success attempted to run the scheduled task. When init persistent task, press any key to continue. Sure. It ain't a good day when the command prompt opens. There's a folder on how to use, but it's empty. Oh my God. We just randomly blue screened. Dude, please tell me it works. Please tell me it works. Oh, okay, I'm back. A little scary blue screen, but we're okay. I'm watching you, Oscar Jeej. Huh? Wait, is someone in my account right now? Wait, someone literally messaged me too. What the? We blue screened again? Dude, what is happening? What are the odds this person messages me I'm watching you? Literally 2 minutes ago. How do they even know? They're making sure I'm online right now. What is happening? Did he get notified that I opened the spoofer? Dude, the timing on that's crazy. You heard me, I'm watching you. Oh, no. Get away. Get away. We need to download Portmaster right now before we blue screen again. They might actually be watching me. Dude, why does it keep doing that? It keeps blue screening. I have no time to download Portmaster. So we're going to open Task Manager and see if there's anything in there that I can turn off. Okay, now it's just bricked. Whatever. I'll delete it then. I'm deleting the VM. All right. You can have it. He probably has my logins. Most likely. It was sent to him and not me. It was never going to appear in that folder. It's probably in his hands now. Moving on, one VM's already bricked. That's why I made a bunch of them. I knew this would happen. Y'all are crazy, man. Just the fact that you guys are making these two makes it even more interesting. Hi, please notice me. What up, James? I made a non-harmful thing. Yeah, let's see.
This magician walked into North Korea to try to make people smile, but the moment he arrived, they took his passport. From then on, 2 guards followed him everywhere, and every night they locked him inside his hotel room. But here's the thing, he wasn't a prisoner. He'd actually asked the world's strictest dictatorship for permission to come and perform, and somehow they said yes. So he started performing for school children, and at first the kids were completely frozen, almost like they didn't know if they were even allowed to smile. But one by one, the tricks broke through, and one little boy was so amazed by a balloon dog that he bowed to the magician as a thank you. But the moment that shocked everyone wasn't the kids.
Even the stone-faced officials couldn't resist.
A guard in uniform, whose entire job was to show zero emotion, started laughing like a child. Because it turns out, you can control what people say and what they do, but you can't control what makes them laugh. This magician walked into North Korea to try to make people smile, but the
Hello, would you cook me dinner in my home tonight for $100?
No, because I don't know you.
Oh, alright. Hello, would you cook me dinner in my home tonight for $100?
Rating your guys' icons, part 29. Freaky boy 1, 2, 3, 4, and okay, I like these icons. That cube is so good. I wonder how much it is. The colors could use a little bit of work, but I see this as a real cash out. 8 out of 10. Arson Jarson, and okay, we are cooking today. I don't know what type of ball that is, but I absolutely love it. This is easily a $115,000 icon set. 9 out of 10. And wow, look at that wave! And it reminds me of such an amazing medium demon level. This icon set definitely deserves an extension that's like 9 minutes long. 7 out of 10. Baby Flow, and okay, this isn't as bad. The best icon here by far is the UFO. Everything else could just use maybe some plushies? This is a 6 out of 10. Music Puppet, and scan this QR code. Scan it! Rating your guys' icons, part 29. Freaky.
When this mom went to watch her favorite hockey team on Veterans Day, something completely unexpected happened. At first, she was confused about why the cameraman kept filming her and showing her on the big screen during the live broadcast. Then, the commentator explained that she was the wife of a soldier currently deployed in Afghanistan. Moments later, the commentator said something no one saw coming, something that left the entire crowd in tears.
Sarah and Sebastian, one more thing for you today. If you would please step out into the aisle and look towards the top of your section and welcome home your husband, Taylor, from Afghanistan.
When this mom went to watch her favorite hockey team on
A woman was playing at a slot machine until something unbelievable happened. She hit the jackpot and won nearly $43 million. This was the single biggest slots win in history. Filled with euphoria, she took a selfie of the winning screen. But there was a problem. The machine had the maximum prize of only $6,500. So obviously, something had gone very wrong. Her win amount seems absurdly high, given she was playing on a penny slot. But actually, the number wasn't random. You see, computers store numbers using bits, and a lot of older machines use 32 bits, which means that the biggest number they can hold is 2 to the power of 32, which is almost exactly the same number that can be seen in her selfie, meaning the machine likely experienced something called integer overflow, the same bug behind some video game glitches and even major government system failures. But obviously, she didn't know any of this. In her mind, she had just become a multi-millionaire, and her life and her family's had changed forever. So when she came to to collect her winnings, the staff told her that it was just a machine malfunction, and in reality, she didn't win anything. Understandably, the woman got extremely upset, so to make it up to her, the casino offered her a free steak dinner. Yeah. Screw you, she said. If the casino wasn't gonna give her the money, she would take it herself with the help of the court. And that selfie, it was now evidence. It looked like she had a pretty easy case. This woman deserves to get her rightful winnings. Listen, this was obviously a malfunction. You can only win $6,500 on that machine. Well then, at least give her the $6,500. Nah, there was a sign on the machine saying that malfunction voids all plays and pays. Is the steak dinner still available? In the end, the only thing the casino did agree to give her was $2.25. That's the amount she had in the machine before the win. A woman was playing at a slot machine.
Imagine teleporting to Mars for a vacation, but the machine makes a terrifying mistake. A teleporter works by scanning your body, destroying your original form, and rebuilding you atom by atom at the destination. You step in, the machine flashes, and boom, you wake up on Mars. But back on Earth, there's a malfunction. It forgot to destroy your original body. Now, there are literally two of you. The Earth you has all your memories and feels 100% real. The Mars you feels exactly the same. But then, the scientists look at the Earth you and say they have to delete you to fix the error. This exposes the absolute darkest secret of this technology. You aren't actually traveling. Every single time someone uses a teleporter, they are literally dying. Your original consciousness is erased, and a perfect clone just wakes up on the other side, completely convinced that they are you. Imagine
Girl Garden. 99 Nights.
There have been thousands of generations of humans, and we are alive to witness the first photo of a sunset on another world. But before I show you the image, you have to understand why it's blowing people's minds. On Earth, sunsets fade into warm reds. But on Mars, the physics are completely backward. NASA rovers captured this using high-res cameras, and it feels like a glitch in the simulation. Mars has a super thin atmosphere packed with fine dust. During the day, that dust scatters red light, making the sky rusty. But when the sun drops low, the dust acts like a weird filter. It blocks the red and lets blue wavelengths slice straight through, creating an eerie, glowing sapphire halo around the sun. Beamed millions of miles back to Earth, it's processed exactly how human eyes would see it. Are you ready to look at an alien planet? Here is a Martian sunset. There have been thousands of generations of humans, and we...
What is he?
The man just dropped $1 into the beggar's bowl, but the beggar was complete.
I'm the best ball gripper on the planet, until this YouTuber set me up. 99% of the time someone challenges me at palm wrestling, I beat them. And whenever there's a tournament at the dunk camp, I'm always the final boss. When I saw him in person, he just wouldn't leave me alone. He kept asking me again and again if we could grip balls. So the first time he challenged me was 2 years ago, and I crushed him. But now he's back for revenge. So what I didn't know is that he's been training really hard for the last 2 years to beat me. He even trained his grip strength, which is actually funny because that does nothing to help you palm a basketball. It's a completely different kind of finger strength. But he was also palming the ball every single day to the point where he was palming the ball with only 2 fingers, just like Wemby. So he pressured me into a rematch. So I said 50k likes on this video and we'll run it back. He's now at 400,000 likes. A little more.
The technology that you're going to see today is highly sensitive and it's proprietary, and so you'll be signing a non-disclosure.
You're a casino owner, and you have a problem. People don't like losing their money to you. Here's how you fix it. Take down all the clocks, block out the windows, and rearrange your plays to have a maze-like layout. Now, their sense of time and direction starts to blur. But this is worth nothing unless you do the critical step of replacing money with chips.
Where does mass actually come from?
You're a casino owner, and you have a problem. People don't like losing their money to you. Here's how you fix it. Take down all the clocks, block out the windows, and rearrange your place to have a maze-like layout. Now, their sense of time and direction starts to blur. But this is worth nothing unless you do the critical step of replacing money with chips. It is so much harder to keep track of how much you're down when it's just some abstract tokens. But people still want to leave. Before they do, give them free drinks. Now, they feel value. Plus, this stuff isn't really known for improving risk management. Switch to warm lighting, play some music, and now it's cozy. But some of them are starting to lose big time and want to get out before it's too much. Stop them right there and hand them their new VIP loyalty card. They are now premium customers and are eligible for free dinners, hotels, and exclusive offers. And all they had to do is lose their entire paycheck. But reassure them, they're not losing, they're earning loyalty points. Uh-oh, some high roller just dropped 6 figures and looks devastated. Reward the biggest losers the most. Private host, luxury suite, and even give him back a tiny portion of his loss. You're his friend through his toughest moment. Not someone who strategically calculates the smallest gift needed to keep him gambling. And there you have it, a happy casino. Remember, you don't have to beat them, you just need to make sure they enjoy losing. You're a casino owner.
Where does mass actually come from? Scientists just...
When they tried to put my brother with Down syndrome in prison, I burst out laughing. We couldn't afford to put my brother in a special program.
Why can't streamers stop playing this horrible casino game?
Oh my god!
In Plinko, you bet money on a ball, which is then dropped into a Pascal's triangle. After bouncing around, it lands on one of these multipliers. The farther from the center, the bigger is your payout. It may look fair until you realize how the odds are stacked against you. At every peg, the ball has a 50-50 chance to go left or right, meaning that there are about 65,000 possible paths the ball could go, and nearly 80% of them lead straight to the 0.2 multipliers, giving you just a fifth of your money back. Only 32 routes hit the 130x, and since there are just 2 ways to reach the 1000, statistically you will have to drop about 32,000 balls before just one of them hits the jackpot. So this must be the worst casino game ever, right? Well, that's what I thought, but when I did the math, I was surprised. You see, this is a game of extremely high risk and high reward. It's super rare for you to hit the big numbers, but if you do, they pay crazy. Adding up all the Plinko multipliers actually gives you an expected value of roughly 0.99, meaning for every $100 you bet, you will lose about $1 on average, which is of course stupid and you shouldn't do it. You are guaranteed to lose money over the long term, but compared to other casino games like roulette or slots, it's one of the fairest casino games out there. However, don't think that the casinos are doing charity work here. This is completely by design, because in Plinko, you don't have to wait for a wheel to spin or cards to deal. You can just drop balls one after another, so they can afford to have you lose less per bet if that means that you will make way more bets overall. So, are these streamers secret experts in probability theory, or are they just addicted to flashy and high dopamine stimuli? Why can't streamers stop playing this horrible casino game?
What are you hiding?
There's nothing on my back. Do you know anything about these shoes right here? I'm not sure.
When she crossed the finish line, no one in
A group of perfectly sane people checked into insane asylums to see if doctors could catch them faking, and the results literally broke the system. 8 volunteers walked in with one simple lie, claiming they heard a voice whispering thud, empty, or hollow. That was it. Yet somehow that got every single one locked up. Here's where it gets crazy. The second they got inside, they dropped the act entirely and behaved perfectly normal. But doctors still labeled them with severe schizophrenia, trapping some inside for over 50 days. When Stanford published the study, the medical world panicked. One offended hospital challenged the researchers.
Send us your fakes for 3 months. We'll catch them.
Over the next 90 days, the hospital proudly flagged 41 patients as frauds and suspected 42 more. They were incredibly confident, but then Stanford dropped the ultimate plot twist. They hadn't sent a single fake patient. A group of perfectly sane people checked into insane asylums to see if doctors could catch them faking, and the results literally broke the system. 8 volunteers walked in with one simple lie, claiming they heard a voice whispering thud, empty, or hollow. That was it. Yet somehow that got every single one locked up. Here's where it gets crazy. The second they got inside, they dropped the act in.
Gotta get better,
You have 5 minutes, 2 minutes. Put the stuff back or I call the cops.
Go ahead and call the cops.
This is theft.
No, it's not. Dumpster diving's legal.
This is theft.
Why is your backpack small, pussy?
Why is your...
Nobody actually cares about you as much as you think they.
Why is your backpack small, pussy?
Why is yours so big?
Nobody actually cares about you as much as you think they do. And that's a good thing. Have you ever tripped in public or worn an ugly shirt and felt like the entire world was staring? That's the spotlight effect. Your brain tricks you into thinking you're the main character of reality, making you believe everyone is hyper-analyzing your every move. To prove this is a lie, psychologists made a student walk into a crowded room wearing a painfully embarrassing t-shirt. The student was convinced every single person noticed and was secretly judging them. In reality, less than 20% of the room even glanced at it. Think about it. Do you remember a single embarrassing thing a stranger did yesterday? Exactly. The hard truth is humans are way too obsessed with their own insecurities to care about yours. Stop being afraid of judgment. Everyone else is too busy judging.
If you obliterate your lights, your room will be dark. But don't worry, this can be fixed if you just extract the... If you obliterate your lights...
Kai reveals why he never spoils his chat.
When you are a streamer,
how do you cope with being angry? Because I am actually asking. I spent $1 million on this house strictly because it has a mango tree. That's $1 million for free mangoes for life. In the minute I moved in, bam, a letter from the city. Your mango tree is dangerous. It's ruining the retaining wall. Cut it down. Bro, I just dropped $1 million on this house for the tree.
There are 3 things.
How do you cope with being angry? Because I am
In my last video, I tried to beat as many Geometry Dash levels from the recent tab as I could without dying once. Now you guys seem to really like that video, so today I'm gonna be doing it once again. Last time I was able to beat 8 levels in a row without dying, and my only goal today is to beat that score. So without any further ado, let's get right back into it. And the first level we're gonna be playing is the Holy Jumper by EFO23. What's gonna be so holy about this kind of jumper? I have no idea. Let's find out. What was Jumper about that? That was the shortest level of my life. Anyways, next up, we've got another platformer level by the name of Unnamed 2 by Mattis XDD. Yeah, an unnamed level. We're in for a good time. Ooh, there's some 4x speed pools. What? What? This is going incredibly. We're 2 levels down already, and I'm like 5 seconds in. It's crazy. Things were going pretty well so far, but on the 4th level, I'd have a bit of a close call. Next up, we've got Stereo Madness But by Little Guy 1. Stereo Madness But what? Let's see. Stereo Madness But with a ship. Fair enough. This shouldn't be so hard in that case. I don't know why I did that swag route. There was no need for that. Holy crap. I better play this safe from now on. Boom! There we go. Stereo Madness But with the ship. Alright, that's 4 down. Let's do some more. Next up is Hexagon Force Copy 2 by Rukika Close enough. If this is genuinely just a copy of Hexagon Force, then that'd be great. Oh my god, it actually is. That's our 5th level. I already know it, because no way I mess up on Hexagon Force, right? I don't think that's usually a part of Hexagon Force. But apart from that, it was basically regular Hexagon Force, so boom, that's our 5th level down. This is going pretty well. Except maybe not, because this next level is called the hardest level by Nuggy 6000, so this might be where things end. Hopefully not. Oh god. While I slowly make my way to the end of this level, I'd like to humbly ask you to subscribe. These videos are no walk in the park to make, so any support is greatly appreciated. Anyways, with the call to action out of the way, let's see the end of this level. Oh man, we're at 95%! Oh god, they better not throw it a frame perfect. It's at it! Oh my god. That is what we were waiting for the whole time. I'm actually done. Oh, okay. Next is Five Notches Con Alfredo by Septix. If you guys don't know, this is a popular Five Nights at Freddy's type game on Roblox. Let's see how they do this in GD, shall we? Guys, that took quite a while to load, I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of scared. Okay, what is this? Oh. Oh my god, it's a real... What? Oh, it's an actual level, and I just fumble like that. Are we dead? In my last video, I tried to beat as many Geometry Dash levels from the recent tab as I could without dying once. Now...
Excuse me, sir. Where are you from?
Nigeria.
Sorry?
Nigeria.
What do you speak? Igbo, Yoruba?
Oh, I know you, bro. Yeah, man. I speak Yoruba.
Yoruba?
Yeah,
Oremi. Excuse me, sir. Where are you from?
Ranking funniest imitation mums.
Are all roulette numbers equally random? In the 1880s, a British engineer had this exact question when he realized that it wasn't possible to produce perfectly balanced wheels, including ones used in roulette tables. He spent a month observing different tables at a casino, even hired 6 assistants to log every spin at every wheel. After doing the math, they found exactly what he had predicted. One wheel had a small imbalance, causing these numbers to hit more often. So he bet on those, and on the first evening he won around $70,000. And over the next few days, he broke the bank 5 times. His winning streak drew others to copy his bets, and the casino was furious. So one night, after everyone had left, the staff secretly switched the lucky table for a different one. When he came back, he started losing, but quickly realized that this wasn't his table, since it lacked a small scratch he had memorized. He then found his old table and started draining the casino once more. At this point, the house had enough, so they began rotating the metal dividers between numbers each night. This time, there was nothing he could do, so he cashed out and went home with generational wealth. Are all roulette numbers equal?
Is it possible to make an infinite level in Geometry Dash? It looks completely impossible at first, however. We can scroll all the way to the right and place an object, and that will make our level 5.5 minutes long. However, now, we can manually drag to the right, and after a couple of minutes, we actually hit the end of the editor, and the length of the level is now only 12 minutes. But we can change the speed from normal speed to slow speed, and that makes the level almost 16 minutes long. And just as we were about to call it impossible, a smart idea came to my mind. Since we can make the level go vertical, how about we use this method to cause the player to do a snake-like movement, all the way up, then down, and continue like that until the end. This allows us to use the vertical part of the editor, essentially building a level that uses every block in the entire level editor. The level is now 13,800 minutes long. However, we can use the time warp trigger to slow down time and make it 18,700 minutes long. That's 3 consecutive years of a single GD level. However, we don't want to make it longer. We want it to be infinite. Well, wait, since the end wall is always placed on the right side, how about we only use 2 triggers like this to change the direction of the player every 1 second? And now we're stuck in an endless loop. And if we add random gameplay, that allows us to make a very fun to complete infinite level. Is it possible to make an infinite level in Geometry Dash? It looks completely impossible at first, however, we can scroll all the way to the right and place an object.
This is the last photo I took with my dad before he unexpectedly passed away when I was 11 years old. I shot it on my first camera, the Nintendo DSi he gave me for Christmas, and I had no idea that that would be the last Christmas we'd spend together, and that this weird little camera would change my life. This is the last photo I took with my dad.
Day 57 of adding pop tabs until I have a full chainmail armor suit. Bendy. Snip, bendy, bend. Snip, bendy. Snippy. Arthritis is in my future. Smashy, smashy. Marvel Marco 21 here is a Coke Zero for you. Sorry, it's also vanilla. Confused Froggo and Omar Sheriff here is your Coke. Your life is mine. Benji Torin, Pud's girlfriend, and here is your Dr. Pepper Don't Feed Wildlife. Micah de Tosti here is your...
Your own friends might subconsciously want you to fail. It sounds toxic, but it's a terrifyingly real psychological trap called the crab bucket mentality. If you put a single crab in a bucket, it will easily climb out and escape. But drop a group of crabs in that exact same bucket and none of them will ever make it out. Why? Because the second one crab reaches the top and tries to break free, the others will literally reach up and drag it right back down into the pile. And the crazy part is, humans do the exact same thing. The second you start working out, studying hard, or actually chasing a massive goal, the people who are stuck in life will start to panic. They will actively try to sabotage you and drag you back down to their level just so your success doesn't make them feel bad about themselves. If you want to escape the bucket, you have to be careful who you're climbing with. Your own friends might...
Ein weiterer Favorite von mir.
What if you could never fall asleep again? It sounds like a horror movie, but it's a terrifying reality called fatal familial insomnia, also known as the sleep curse. Imagine hitting your mid-50s and one day you just can't sleep. You try heavy sleeping pills, but nothing works. The sleep switch in your brain is permanently broken. You are forced to stay awake for months on end. Your brain literally cannot shut off. Slowly, the extreme exhaustion takes over. You start intensely hallucinating and completely lose your mind until your body just gives up and shuts down. But here is the absolute scariest part about this disease. If you have the gene, there is zero cure. And worse, there are no early warning signs. You won't even know you carry it until the exact moment it activates. It's basically a ticking time bomb inside of you, waiting to wake you up for the very last time. What if you could never fall asleep again? It sounds like a horror movie, but...
My level here is really short, but the problem is I can't go up here, even though you can see I made the level go upwards here. To fix this, many people would spam ship portals alongside the diagonal path, because they know that going into a new portal will adjust the grounds to the fitting level. So if we do that, we can see that it does actually fix the issue and we can go up. However, it's very janky and looks incredibly unprofessional.
I gave my chat $2,000 to spend on Temu, and they picked out some of the worst stuff that you could imagine. Feastables from Temu? Let's try it. Someone said get a mystery box. $342. Items may vary. What are the items? You just spend $350, you don't even know? You don't even have a hint of what you're getting? Okay, fine, we'll get it. Death whistle? What is a death whistle? Loud and terrifying screams. We'll try it. We got the Feastables from Temu. It looks legit. It looks really real. I'm gonna take a really small bite. I don't want to die, but I do trust Jimmy. I already feel it in my head. Whoa, am I imagining that? Instant headache. What is that? death whistle? Apparently it sounds crazy. Alright, I want to do this big one, and I have a feeling I know what it is. I think it was a $250 mystery box. It looks like there's 5 items in here. First thing is a noose. The first thing is a pink noose. What? Next, we have the Defender Extreme. This is like a butterfly knife. Oh, wait, it's like a barber thing. Or it's like a gun. And then we have a stun gun. Are you joking? Dude, look at this. Look at this. Wow, this thing is sick. Use it on the Moa? No, I'll use it on the box. Damn! Oh, you gotta be kidding me. It's a tactical self-defense flashlight. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Okay, ready? Holy shit. The fuck can you buy on this website, man? If you want to see the rest of the items, click right here. Watch the full video.
I found some new tech on Chomp Step. Chomp Step is possible if you do the 43% skip with the ball. How it works is that when the monster goes down, you have to go to the roof and hit a 2-frame window to hit the pad and escape the monster. What makes this really hard is that if you click too early, your ball will actually bounce off the club set monster. However, on stream, I found the most consistent way to do it. You have to jump a little late next to the spike and then hit these 2 orbs extremely late. And then you buffer in the air. Doing this will make your ball consistently go up. Oh my god, they have guns. Go. No.
This is what can happen when you take the wrong road in Mexico. These 2 guys were just driving through Mexico, exploring and looking for birds. Everything felt normal, calm, just another...
If you play a video game for too long, your brain will literally start to rewrite reality. It's a psychological glitch called the Tetris effect. When you grind a game like Roblox for hours, you log off, close your eyes, and still see the game in the dark. You look at a real-life staircase and your brain instantly calculates it like an obby, measuring if you can make the jump. The science behind this is crazy. To make you better at playing, your brain physically wires brand new neural connections. But it gets so used to the digital world, it forgets to turn game mode off when you put the screen down. But here is the ultimate plot twist. Scientists are now using this exact glitch to heal people. They found that playing highly visual games right after a bad experience blocks your brain from saving traumatic memories because it's too busy processing the game. You aren't just playing, you're literally hacking your own mind. If you play a video...
Doctors wanted to rid him of epilepsy, so they removed part of his brain. But for him, time stopped forever. The seizures went away, but a new problem appeared. He could no longer form new memories. Everything that happened before the surgery remained in his memory, but anything that occurred afterward disappeared after about 30 seconds. He would read the same newspaper dozens of times, each time believing it was the first time he had seen it. Meeting the same person could happen over and over every 30 seconds. Looking in the mirror, he could never understand why he had aged. His life got stuck in one single moment forever. So he lived like this for more than 50 years and helped scientists understand how memories are formed. Doctors wanted to rid him of epilepsy, so they removed part of his brain. But for him, time...
I only slept in a little longer, but when I woke up,
The person you are right now might not be the only version of you that exists. See, there's a famous story of a guy whose brain glitched so hard that he became a completely new person. In 2001, a construction worker named Tommy McHugh was just using the bathroom.
I woke up to the sound of something